Welcome to the Advanced Geekery Project Lab, where I'm making a fun 3D print for your entertainment and edification. Today we're printing and mounting a giant wall-busting Slimer that looks like he's coming right out of the wall at you. My name is David Gewirtz. Welcome back to the Advanced Geekery channel. Today's project is Slimer from Ghostbusters, and this one is just plain fun. The whole idea is that he mounts on the wall like he's bursting out of it, which gives the finished piece a lot more personality than another model just sitting on a shelf. It's big, it's bright, it's green, and it's ridiculous in exactly the right way, and honestly, it came out looking way better than I expected. This print was done on the Bambu Lab H2D, and I scaled the model as large as I could and still have it fit on the printer. When you've got a model like Slimer, bigger is better. He's not supposed to be subtle. He's supposed to look like he just slimed his way through your drywall and decided your room is his room now. Before we go on, I'd really appreciate it if you tap like and subscribe. Doing so helps me reach more people and make sure you don't miss future videos. Besides, it feeds the algorithm, and nobody wants a hungry algorithm. The design is by IK3D on Thangs. Link will be down below. It's a $4 model, in this case, absolutely worth it. The sculpt is excellent, the Slimer's Ghostbusters feel comes through immediately, and one of the smartest things about it is that it was designed to print without supports. That matters because supports on a model like this would be a mess, and not having to deal with them makes the whole project a lot cleaner. This was a 6-spool project, so there was a fair amount going on in setup. I used 2 AMS units because this build needed multiple colors working together. The bulk of Slimer, including most of the body and hands, is green. Then there's black for the iris of the eyes and the nails, red for the ring around the eyes, white for the teeth, and pink for the gum and tongue. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but with the right setup, it stayed surprisingly efficient. The green filament for the model was provided by Inslogic, which was the main project partner on this build, and it really carried the project because most of the Slimer is, obviously, green. The pink filament came from JO, so thanks to them as well. I'm always appreciative when partners help to make a project like this more practical to build, especially on something large enough that material use is not trivial. Even so, the total filament cost here is actually pretty reasonable for what you end up with. Figuring in the fact that you only use part of the non-green spools, I'd estimate the real material cost at about 50 bucks. For a very large, full-color display piece that looks like this, it's not bad at all. One thing I did in setup that really paid off was using the optimal filament placement option. That helped reduce color changes and kept printer poop to a minimum. This is all that came out, which is exactly what you want on a multicolor print this size. With a lot of large AMS jobs, waste can get out of hand fast. Here, it stayed under control, so this wasn't just a flashy print, it was a fairly efficient flashy print. The print time was substantial, but due to the H2D's dual extruders, less than you'd expect for a print this size. Slimer's head took about 2 days to print, and the hands took another 12 hours. So you're looking at a measurable time investment, but not one of those week-long commitments where you start wondering whether you've made a terrible life choice. This was long enough to feel ambitious, but still manageable. And the quality? Really exceptional. The hands came out especially well, and the teeth almost look real, which is a slightly disturbing thing to say about Slimer, but there it is. The surface quality is clean, the color separations are sharp, and the overall effect is exactly what you want from a big character piece. It has presence. You look at it and immediately get the joke, the attitude, and the appeal. Building it was fun, but it was not entirely effortless. Getting Slimer's head off the build plate turned into its own little adventure because it stuck really well. Normally, good adhesion is something you want right up until the moment you need the part to stop being attached to the printer. I wound up using 2 tools to coax it loose. No damage, no disaster, but definitely one of those moments where you realize the printer has become emotionally invested in keeping the model. This program is sponsored in part by the Advanced Geekery weekly newsletter. Want exclusive access to my latest ZDNet articles, behind-the-scenes updates on my projects, and must-watch YouTube videos curated just for you? How about fascinating reads from around the web and a chance to have your own project spotlighted? It's all in the newsletter. And the best part, subscribing is absolutely free. Don't wait, click the link below to get your weekly issue and make it awesome. Along with the print itself, I also put together a set of mounting guides. These were incredibly helpful. Since this model is meant to mount as though it's coming through the wall, placement matters. You need to know where the screws go, and you need that process to be simple and repeatable instead of turning into a guesswork and regret, especially when you're 9 feet up the wall. Let's jump into a short screen share. I'm going to walk you through how to cut and trim a model in Bambu Studio so you can create those guides in the first place. Once you understand how to slice off sections and create a functional template piece, you can apply this trick to all kinds of projects. It's not just about Slimer, it's about using the software a little more intelligently to solve real mounting and assembly problems. The Slimer model already comes with mounting holes underneath, so our process is simply to slice it down to expose those mounting holes for our template. So we're going to choose the cut tool and then just move this slice mark down so we're basically sectioning Slimer's head. The trick is getting it down far enough that you get enough to make a template for and not too much to waste too much plastic. As you can see, I sliced it just enough to get one of the holes. So the next thing I'll do is slice it just a little bit more to get the second hole and make it visible. There we go. But I don't want to print this whole piece even if it's sliced down. I want to just segment it some more. So I'm going to slice it, but this time I'm going to make some vertical slices to chop this piece down. And what I'll do is move the axes around. You can see it picking up there so I can get a vertical slice. And I'm going to go in and set it to 90 degrees. And then I'm going to move it so that I get the slice in the direction I want it to go. So I'll move the other axis. And here you can see doing the same thing here. And then of course I have to move it back and forth a little bit to make room for the holes. So that was the first slice, and we'll chop it. And the next thing we'll do is create a second slice for the next piece we want to cut out. Again, we're going to create a vertical slice, and we'll chop out basically a bookmark size strip that we can use as our template. And again, move the axis so it's a vertical piece, and then we'll arrange the angle. Now, one of the things we want to do is make a note of the checkboxes so we keep a certain part and we get rid of a certain part. And that way, when we do the slice, we keep what we want. And that was the wrong one. So I'll undo that and I'll slice it again and make sure we keep what we want to do is keep the color that has the keep X on it. So here we're moving the vertical plane, we're giving us some room, and now we're switching so that the keep command is we're keeping the light blue part and not keeping the purple part. Like that. There we go. And then I chopped the two ends as well to make it a little shorter. I should have probably kept that a little bit bigger because it was a little hard to measure on the wall, but still there's a template, and that's a 10-minute print. Now let's do the hands. And you can see that the hands also have mounting points. And I'm just going to do one of them, although I actually sliced both. They're identical, and there's really only a need to do one. And as you can see, there are the two hands as templates. And I just combined them together onto one plate and printed them out. And now I have templates. Let's see what this looks like next. With these, when it's time to hang the model, you won't have to hold the giant green ghost in one hand while trying to figure out screw geometry with the other. The templates make the install cleaner, faster, and a whole lot less annoying. You might wonder why I'm mounting the model onto an OSB board rather than directly onto a wall. There's a reason for that. The finished project was mounted 9 feet up on the back wall of the Fab Lab, back there. I wanted to show you the process of using the templates without somehow trying to balance a camera, the model, and a bunch of tools while up on a ladder. The board also makes it easier to demonstrate exactly how the mounting layout works. And of course, now that everything is assembled, we're going to show this thing off properly because that's the payoff. Big grinning face, hands reaching out, bright color, weirdly realistic teeth, and that great illusion that he's emerging from the surface. It's one of those models that earns the space it takes up. Up there, I'll see it and enjoy it every day. Overall, this project was a blast. It's a cool model, it prints beautifully, the wall mount concept gives it extra impact. It also turned into a good excuse to cover some genuinely useful workflow tricks in Bambu Studio. That's the kind of sweet spot for a project like this. You get something fun and you get something useful out of it at the same time. So here's my question for you. What pop culture character would you want to print as a giant wall-bursting display piece? Let us know in the comments below. My name is David Gewirtz. Go out there and make it awesome. And whatever you do, don't cross the beam.